Hello everybody and welcome back to the Retro Sports Gamer channel, and it has been a long time coming, something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I am going to be playing NBA Showtime on the Dreamcast. I'm going to do the 2019 challenge, and this is the 60th episode of Late Night with Lumberjack Cracks, so let's do something to celebrate. It's not really a real milestone, but I just noticed it was the 60th episode. So whatever. Anyway, so last time my brother was over here and we played a 7-game series. You should check that out. It was fun. But he left the Dreamcast here for me, and I'm like, you know what? It's time to take... I keep hitting the B button because of the stupid Switch. It's time to take advantage of this. It's been over here for over a week, and I haven't played it yet. What's up, Smoke? I'm doing fine. How are you doing? Did I not pick the controller configurations? I just picked settings. Alright. Stream going smoothly so far. Clicking all the wrong things. I should have checked the buttons before I started, but I didn't. What's up, Octavius? So anyway, I am going to take on all the teams in the NBA. Don't know if I'll get through that all tonight. Considering there's 3 minutes per quarter, 12 minutes a game. 29 teams, not likely. But, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Smoke said just won a national championship of NCAA College Hoops 2K8. Sounds sweet, dude. It's time to make a hot, fresh profile. Hopefully I haven't already made this. Maybe, nah, we'll just keep it simple. My pin will be as easy as possible. No, don't load. What's up, Antonio Wilson? So I already have decided that I'm going to pick the Raptors. Along with Tom lending me the Dreamcast, he also had the NBA Showtime strategy guide shipped here. And it's got the hidden player attributes and all their hotspots. So one thing that I'm going to test out in this game is I usually go with a big man as my drone, but I found out that D Brown has a 18 in rebounds. So I want to see if he starts picking up those rebounds and see if that would be a worthwhile endeavor to have a drone with better rebounds rather than just putting a big man down there. Alright, looks like we're facing the Nuggets, so we gotta change that real quick. Along with get the ABA ball. It's gonna be hard to remember that 29 times, assuming that I'm gonna win every game. Sometimes my focus isn't the best. Brian would be happy for you. He would only be happy if you made a bracket of predicting the tournament outcome beforehand.
Here's the tip. And
right.
This game is underway.
Big opener.
Carter. Dishes to Van Exel. He just knocked him down.
And I am assuming
He'll try it again.
that it scales the same way
Nice feed to Van Exel.
that NBA Jam does the difficulty each time. So the game, it's assuming it will get harder every game
Mercer.
as I
He is really
give up the
heating
ball
up.
to the Nuggets,
Launches.
claiming to be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Great fake.
And
He gave him a push.
not completely dominating them like Green Magic would if this were NBA Jam.
He lays it up.
Shout out to Green Magic.
Hands off to
Is
Van
there a
Exel.
difficulty setting?
Van Exel.
No.
And he set that one
There is
off
not.
loud and clear. Right by him.
So after you beat the 29 teams, there's actually a midway challenge. So what that entails is you first face off against two teams of NBA All-Stars from the East and the West. Then you start playing against weird characters like horses and such, and then the mascots, and then you start playing against the developers. Those games are difficult. And if my memory serves me correctly, the games after the first couple start getting hard. So I don't know how telling this first game is going to be to my theory about the hidden rebound stat. Along with the hidden rebound stat, I found out that there's a hidden weight stat, and what the weight stat does is it makes you less likely to be pushed over.
He is wide open.
So the drawback of having more weight, though, is your player doesn't jump as high on jump shots. So, I mean, that's the only thing. So the lighter players can shoot over the heavier players, or be more likely. What's up, Adam? Can't remember if I said hello or not.
Toronto up by a point.
Are there any celebrity characters or just weird fever dream shit like horse heads and etc.?
Hands off to Mercer.
So it's not the same way NBA Jam was, where it's like literally celebrities, like people that weren't a part of basketball in some way. So you just get the midway team, and then like Isaiah Thomas, I believe, was doing announcing for NBC at the time, so Isaiah Thomas is in the game.
Hands off to Mercer.
And that's about as deep as it gets, I think.
And he comes away with the ball. Smooth move.
Yeah, I don't know. The one interesting thing about this strategy guide is it has all the hidden characters in it, but it doesn't have Dennis Rodman, who actually is a hidden character in this game. He was in the original arcade version, and then was not in the NBA anymore, so they took him off the Lakers. But then they added him as a hidden character. But for some reason, they didn't throw him in the strategy guide. So I wonder if they were working on an early build where he was still in the Lakers, and then instead of moving him from the Lakers, they just removed his name altogether.
Hands off to Mercer. Mercer. There is 1 minute left. He just flat out leveled him. Oh, rejected. Twisting and turning.
Yeah, so this game is going as smoothly as I thought it was going to go. Just plowing through it right now.
Hands off to Mercer. Quick fake.
Not much attention has to be paid to beat the first round.
That was one for the highlight reel. To Mercer. With a beautiful spin move.
Anyway, this is being recorded on what Animal Crossing is calling Money Day, which has been the most annoying holiday. I mean, I haven't seen any of the holidays in Animal Crossing yet, but effectively what it's done is made eggs pop up everywhere in the world where resources would normally be popping up. So, yeah, it's been fun. Totally dominated. So D Brown did get 5 rebounds, and I can't really say whether or not that was because he has an 18 rebound stat, but he did lead. So that's good. That's wonderful. NBA Jam has no Jordan, Shaq, etc. This game has everyone. So this game doesn't have Jordan. It does have Shaq. It has also Charles Barkley, who was not in the later versions of Jam.
Wide open for the three.
He and Shaq appeared in the original arcade game, and then early copies of the Genesis Super Nintendo game for the original Jam. Barkley's in it, but not later ones.
Toronto up by
So I'm only beating them by 3. Maybe I should pay attention.
Oh, and it falls through for 2. Van Exel. Zoom, baby.
Another little nugget of information that I learned from reading the strategy guide that I didn't already know. So the way that fire works in this game, when you get on fire, every shot that you take, no matter what character you are, becomes a 90% chance of hitting it. So that's something that could definitely be taken advantage of.
Nice feed to Van Exel. Again, the shot won't
Because
go.
in
Carter.
earlier NBA Jam games, I remember taking 3 shots with guys that had horrible 3 stats and not being as consistent.
Dishes to Mercer.
But I could be wrong.
Nice feed to Van Exel.
I'm wrong a lot.
And that'll put out the
But I'm
fire
only
hurry.
human,
That was a
and I
silky
can't
smooth
expect
move.
myself to be perfect.
Wham, bam, look at that
What
block.
the fuck, D-Brown?
Lets it fly. And he missed
I expect
it.
you to be perfect, not me.
We have liftoff.
You're a computer. I'm a computer. Stop all the downloading.
Launches his body. Finds Mercer. Mercer. The clock is ticking. Carter. Launches.
Oh my god, it's only the 3rd.
Dishes to Van Exel. Van Exel.
Hope you guys are getting the nice ASMR sounds of me pressing the
Dishes to Carter.
Dreamcast triggers over and over again. Because they're so squeaky. I wonder when the springs in these will give out.
Van Exel.
So another thing that I was aware of from reading facts before from the strategy guide,
What a brick.
but never really thought about it beyond what it was, is you can put in the initials for like every player in the game
To Carter.
and have them locked as the player that you're going to play. So like, let's say you want Shaq on Orlando,
Dishes to Van Exel.
you could put in Shaq's initials, pick Orlando, and then Shaq would be on Orlando.
Left him
So
standing
like,
there.
if you're playing with 4 people, anybody, you guys could just be whatever player you want to be.
Hands off to Mercer. Mercer. With the runner.
The other notable thing that was not in the strategy guide
Look at him go.
was any mention of injuries. So
Dishes
injuries
to
do
Van
not
Exel.
affect you at all in this game. So the main thing you have to worry about pushing is just the foul system that
Carter
exists.
Crosses over. Launches.
Tom had the strategy guide. Should
Mercer.
rematch now that you've
From the
both
arc.
seen it. Only
From
fair.
Mercer.
Do I like the game? I love this game. This is my favorite sports game of all time.
Was that a
Without a
thing of
doubt.
beauty?
Uh,
And he gets
it's
hit hard.
just
And scores.
the perfect pace
Toronto
of
up by
basketball. I
3.
think it's the perfectly balanced NBA Jam style game.
Vince Carter.
It's
Mercer.
skewed a little bit more towards offense, but if you really know what you're doing, you can dominate on defense.
Toronto up by 3.
And
Goes between his legs.
I mean, it really refines all the ideas that have gone throughout all the NBA Jam type games.
Way up in the air.
And this is the pinnacle of it.
Again.
Unfortunately, when NBA Hoops was made,
And it's all
they decided
starting unravel
to
now.
expand the amount of players that were on the court, and I think it really ruins the game
Mercer.
because they slow the game down slightly,
Awfully friendly right
and
now.
then
Great fake.
it's not as fundamental of just switching between you and your partner.
At the horn. No good.
But yeah, I would recommend
Toronto
this
Raptors
game
have
against
defeated
anybody, or
the
for
Denver
anybody.
Nuggets.
All right. There we go. The first team beat the Denver Nuggets. They're done. Get them out of here. 71 points for Carter. So D Brown did get 8 rebounds in that game. Both computers got 7. I got none. Apparently, I wasn't doing jack for trying to get loose balls. But you know, that's what happens when you're playing against the computer and you know you're not going to lose. You play the game a lot in the arcade. Yeah, I mean, this is a great arcade game. Did not read that. Someone in the chat probably knows the answer to that question. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? D with selfless 32 assists. That's right. That's what he was there for. He is there to lead me to victory. So I'm gonna use Oakley this game to see how many rebounds Oakley gets. And I don't know if that's really gonna be a good test or not, but whatever. I need to know how strong this the hidden rebound stat is, because it will really change who I will pick as my second player.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Oh yeah, baby. Make me put it in every time. See, this is why I didn't go with the fancy pin. Let's get Toronto up in here. Now I'm thinking about D Brown only got 3 rebounds in that last. Let's run with T-Mac just to change it up a little bit. So I usually use Oakley here just because he's got the height and the blocking. And there's really nobody else except Kevin Willis. And he's not as fast as Oakley. Oh yeah, he is. It's the power. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Such an authority. Tell me more, Matt.
The Toronto Raptors.
So Oakley has only 6 in rebounds versus D Brown's 18 in rebounds. So I'm thinking that that's a large enough gap where you'll be able to see a noticeable difference, especially if I'm in the lead. So one game only took like 17 minutes. So times that 29 times. We'll be here till 6 in the morning.
Here's the tip. And it is showtime here.
Maybe if I were drinking, I'd be able to do all 29 teams in one sitting. But I'm just drinking coffee right now. That's why I'm super excited. Doing all these weird voices that I do all the time. It's crazy. Check out the Lumberjack Cracks channel. That's where I actually do the voices. I haven't streamed on there in a while, but if you like non-sports games, they had a couple of them there. Might get back to that soon. Talked about streaming Resident Evil Resistance, the multiplayer mode to Resident Evil 3 Remake, after I finished Remake. I'm like near the end of it. Everything I've been reading about the game so far has been that it's short. And even people are telling me that, like, why did you get it? It's only like 6 hours long. And it's like 5 to 10 hours long. I'm about 7 hours into it, and I think I'm near the end. I don't want to say anything. I didn't play much of the original, but I did play the Mercenaries mode in that game, and what I liked about the Mercenary mode in that game was you basically got free roam around the city, so it was kind of like an open world game, but on a time limit. But that is not how the remake is at all. It's very broken up into chunks, and you do not have free reign around the city. So I'm probably gonna play the original
He'll be going to the line.
to compare. But I don't know, reviews I've been reading about it say that it's a really good remake and that it does cool things. So we'll see. Adam says 2019 challenge, huh? Are you sure you need help from Tom? I don't need any help from Tom. I could definitely beat him in this game. I'm really disappointed the series went that way that I played with him last week.
This guy is on fire.
But the last two games, if you watched it, the last two, I won't spoil it. Just watch it if you want to watch it. Brandon Plaster says it's not quite as good as 2 Remake. I mean, I would agree with that. Because the thing about 2 Remake was it basically stuck to what was great about that game and that feeling of walking through a spooky mansion type place. Obviously it's the police station, but it did everything in a way that made it
I want to see the replay on that one.
more modernized and a lot creepier.
Hands off to McGrady.
The one thing that's interesting about 3 versus 2, so with 2, Claire and Leon have never seen the zombies before. So when they're fighting them, you get this feedback of them being like, oh, what the fuck, like, why are they not dead yet? And, like, literally they'll swear. And, like, give kind of, like, the reaction that you're thinking. And Jill's already been through it. She already went through the mansion incident, but you didn't get to play that. So you didn't get to see her actually be scared. Unless you played old games, but, you know, it's not the same.
He gave him a push.
So, like, Jill's reactions to everything is kind of flat. It's a very action-y feeling attempt to do that concept. I feel like so far what they've done with Nemesis where I've played, it's kind of more of a cutscene gimmick in a way. A like QuickTime gimmick thing. They're not QuickTime events per se, but it's very like scripted movements and whatever. And what they did with Mr. X and Resident Evil 2 is what I wanted them to do with Nemesis. However, I understand wanting to change up that formula since they already used that concept in the way that they used it. Pat says, love the garish 90s uniforms for these Canadian expansion teams. I just realized I didn't change to the Grizzlies. Thank you for saying something. I've been rambling about non-sports games this whole time. I love their logos. I love their jerseys. Everything about the way that the 90s sports looks is just fantastic. Right up there with the teal Pistons jerseys. Yeah, those are good ones. I didn't see where Chokley was at. Guess it doesn't really matter until the end of the game. Brandon says, Mr. X was more like what Nemesis should have been. Yeah, exactly. But I get what they were doing for 3 Remake. The thing is, I can't make a full opinion about this until I actually play through the 3rd game again. I only played maybe the first, like, hour or so. But I played a lot of the Mercenary mode just because I got Resident Evil 2 and 3 for the Dreamcast at the same time for my brother for, I think it was one of my birthdays. And I played through 2, both stories. And then I'm like, alright, I'm going to start 3. And then I'm like, it's kind of stressful to start playing these games just like that. And then I just spent a lot of time playing the Mercenaries mode because it was unlocked from the get-go on the Dreamcast version. So, yeah. So I can't make a huge opinion about it compared to the last one. I just had certain expectations going into the Resident Evil 3 remake about... I just loved the idea of being able to wander a zombie-infested city in kind of an open-world fashion, and that's not what I got. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. I do enjoy the game. It's just, whenever you create expectations in your head for something and the way that you think that you would have made the game, and they're not met, it's just not going to come out the same feeling. But like Resident Evil 2, it completely defied my expectations. I was thinking they were just going to make a straight up remake, and then they combined it with the systems from Resident Evil 4, and they modernized that and made zombies worth a lot more, and by making them take more hits, and your ammo supply could just get burned through, especially if you were playing on like hardcore. I had a friend that like completely ruined a save near the end of the game because he was out of ink ribbons and out of guns and ammo because he spent too much bullets in the early part of the game. So yeah, NBA Showtime, right? It's funny. This is my favorite sports game of all time, and I'm sitting here talking about Resident Evil, but that's what I've been playing when I've not been playing Animal Crossing. And there's not really much to talk about for Animal Crossing. It's more like a show and tell. Like, here's my town. These are my villagers. It's cool.
Hands off to Reeves. Reeves.
Know Your Bro says I want to see Team Fire. Let's see if I can get that going for you.
Finds McGrady. Reeves.
No! Jumped too early. Alright, gotta reset that.
McGrady.
Ah!
Finds Reeves. Way above the rim.
This request
He is really
is making me start to lose.
McGrady. Dishes to McGrady.
So, it's not hard to get the computer to throw a alley-oop to you, because you could just pass it to them, trigger the alley-oop thing,
Up by 3.
and then pass back.
Oh, with the alley-oop dunk.
But right now, I gotta play the defense to actually get the fucking Team Fire.
How did he get through? Parks. Get that shot.
No!
Out of here. You can't stop that shot.
So I like the way Team Fire works in this game over the way that Team Fire works in Hang Time. Hang Time, it has a time limit. It has like a 30-second time limit that will go down. And I should probably focus on winning the game instead of getting Team Fire. And in this game, it will just end after, I think, 7 baskets. And then, or if the other team does an alley-oop themselves. Which Showtime has, or Hang Time has all of those limits. So it can run out by time, it can run out by shots, and it can run out by the other team getting an alley-oop. Maybe it's just easier to have Oakley go up.
Now they've got to find some way to get back into this game. Terrible.
At the start of the next game, I'll try to get Team Fire from the get-go.
McGrady. Good. To Parks.
Yeah.
No good.
Count along with Know Your Bro to see when we're gonna get Team Fire. Alright, so Oakley only got 3 rebounds in that game, and I got 6. So, we'll throw D. Brown in as, as the drone in the next game. Sorry if you're getting sick of seeing the Raptors, but I want to test this out, and since I have 29 games to go through, it's better off seeing who was totally not paying attention. And they're like, oh, the Wasps, huh? Yeah, I knew the answer. Talking and playing the game is difficult. Let's change this to the Grizzlies. Are the triggers on the controller wearing out? No, I mean, they work just as well as I ever remember them working. Know Your Bro says, plus I just watched a video about some dude fix the arcade version of this. Fix the arcade version for MAME? Is that what you're talking about? Because that would be awesome. Maybe I'll look that up if that's the case. Because I would love to play the arcade version on the PC. Surprisingly, since it came out, it still has not been in a workable form. All right, Grizzlies down.
This is the NBA on NBC.
All right. Who's next? All right, we got to go for Team Fire. Let's get Carter back out there. And D. Brown for them rebounds.
The Toronto Raptors go up against the New Jersey Nets.
Pat says that NBC theme is a nice touch too. Classic 90s presentation. I mean, this song is like a lullaby to me. I absolutely love it. Who am I facing? Oh, the Nets.
Kendall Gill, Keith Van Horn, D. Vince Carter.
All right.
Here's the tip. This is the matchup everyone's been waiting for. Goes up high. Hands off to Van Horn. Whoop. Dishes to Carter. Going up for the dunk. I want to see the replay on that one.
Okay. Team Fire. Forgot about it.
He just flat out leveled him. Way up in the
Suddenly
air.
I've gotten in my head.
From short range.
Stop talking out loud.
Finds Carter. Quick crossover.
Go up.
Carter with the
Go
fancy
up.
dribbling. Dishes to Brown. Hands off to
Let's
Van
get
Horn.
that ball.
He gave him a push.
Damn it.
Yeah, he sent that one home loud and clear.
This quest for Team Fire is going to be harder than it looks.
Whoop.
Damn it, Brown.
To
You were
Van
supposed to
Horn.
pass me. You were too close to the rim.
Boom, baby.
It may be my fault, but I'm still upset.
Carter for
Shit.
three. And couldn't get it. Brown.
Just go up. Go. Yes. Good
Carter.
boy.
He is
Oh, man.
really heating up.
Good man.
Finds Van Horn. Magic carpet ride. That was one for the highlight reel. There is 1 minute left.
Go.
Carter.
Get up there.
with the fancy
Get
dribbling.
on up. Get
Nice
on up.
footwork. Fancy footwork.
I need, like, T-Mac
Brown.
to be my
Hands off
drone
to
if I
Van
want that to
Horn.
happen.
Great fake. Time is winding down.
Go.
Carter.
And go.
Fancy footwork.
All right. 2.
Brown. Hands off to Van Horn. Awesome
Oh,
defense.
come on. He was so far out.
Dishes
Such
to Carter.
bullshit. They are just trying to screw me. All right.
Hands off to Carter. Carter.
And
Carter.
go.
There's
And damn it.
Showtime. Gill. Really skying. That was all net.
That's
Toronto
D.
up
Brown.
by 3.
I'll go up. Damn it.
He slides
I'll
by.
go up.
Brown. Oh, with the alley-oop
That's
dunk.
probably going to be a faster way. Tired of telling him what to do and him not listening.
Carter.
That works.
One more alley-oop is going to light this team on fire. That was brutal. Twisting and turning. He missed again.
Shit.
Oh, with the alley-oop dunk.
All right. Back to
Carter.
phase 1.
Look at him go. He slides by. Finds Carter. Finds Gill. Gill. Misses. Hands off to Carter.
Yeah, team fire is not going to be as simple as I was expecting it to
And he
be.
gets hit hard. Van Horn. Whoa, boom, shakalaka.
Computer plays like a jerk.
There is 1 minute left.
They know what I'm trying to
Comes
do.
away with the board.
They don't want to be
Van Horn. And he just
humiliated.
got that one over the rim. Carter. Carter. There's nothing sweeter than an alley-oop. Hands off to
One.
Gill. The clock is ticking. Look at him go.
That was totally my fault.
One for the highlight reel.
Tried to rip the ball.
Carter. From short range.
You know, fuck team fire.
Dishes to Gill. Van Horn. And couldn't get it. Shoots.
Know your
Hands
bro
off to
says,
Carter.
man, these spectacular dunks are totally unblockable. They are not unblockable. Carter's only got a 4 block. So it's hard for me to actually get a block even if I have the timing window for it to happen. But if you're running with a guy that's got like a double-digit block, you can block dunks. And it also depends on who is... Shit. Look at the rebounds. Who is dunking and what their dunking rating is. So yeah, we're going to go back with Carter, and we're going to keep Brown so that we can keep testing this hidden rebound rating.
It is all tied up.
Oakley notably only got 3 rebounds in his game, and D. Brown got 8.
Hands off to Carter.
It's a 6 rebound rating versus a 18 rebound
It
rating.
is all tied up.
I mean, I realize that the situations are going to be different, but the sampling size
Carter.
is going to have to be from something small because I'm not going to play every single game as the
Carter.
Raptors.
What an alley-oop. Hands off to Van Horn. Van Horn. That is a sweet shot.
What's up, soccer channel number 1? This game is
Look at him
fun.
go.
I love this game.
With the Showtime
Favorite
move.
sports game of all time. That's why I'm willing to
Van
play
Horn.
against all 29 NBA
Shoot.
teams.
It is all
The
tied
assumption after this is putting in the reps of
up. Vince Carter.
playing this game so much, I will be in
Van
prime
Horn.
form to
And
play
he
my
gets hit
brother
hard.
and
What was he thinking?
take all the bragging rights back and say that
Carter.
I am the best.
Oh,
You know, it's
with
hard
the
to beat a
alley-oop.
guy that
To Van Horn.
has
And he
the
gets
arcade
hit hard.
cabinet in his
Carter.
basement.
This guy is smoking now.
Pat says, you got
This
any
is to Gill.
decent under-the-radar
Gill.
stream
Magic
recommendations?
carpet ride.
Movies, series,
Carter.
docs, whatever.
There is 1 minute left.
I mean, honestly, I don't
Lays it up
really
and
watch a
nails the
whole
short
lot of
jumper.
Netflix.
He just flat out leveled
Or
it. Carter.
much
He
streaming in
probably
general.
should have passed.
Uh,
Play is getting very
I have
physical.
been recently watching the anime
Diamond
My
winding
Hero
down.
Academia, which is
Gill.
not under the radar
Carter.
whatsoever. It's
Smooth
like
move.
this generation's
Boom
Naruto,
shakalaka.
but it is a very good show.
Gill. Again with the shot.
One I would say that I really like on Netflix is Castlevania. I think they did a really good job adapting that game into a series. So that's a recommendation, I would say. Watch that. I haven't watched the third season of it yet, but the first two are really good. First season's only 4 episodes, and then the second, I think, expands to 8. But it's a good watch. It reminds me a lot of Game of Thrones in a way. Just style and tone-wise, not content-wise. I mean, the only similarity there is it is, you know, somewhat medieval.
Toronto up by a point. He posted away.
Stop it. Okay. Now they've taken the lead. So did the computer just get harder all of a sudden, or am I just a big suck? Find out. If I lose this game, I'm gonna go cry. And I'll abandon this. That's not true. Unlike the NBA Jam one that I did on Genesis a long time ago, I am not going to abandon this one. Even if I do suck.
Carter. He shook him out of his drawers. Brown.
Tom says, hey, you can't use the Raptors. That's my team.
That was a cheap shot.
I'm using the Raptors specifically because I'm testing the hidden rebound rating. I've explained this a few times throughout the stream already.
With the hesitation move.
So I've been running with D Brown as my drone. This is the second game that I've had him. So I want to see how much better he does than Charles Oakley. The first game that I had D Brown in, he got 8 rebounds, and then Charles Oakley only got 3 throughout the entire game. So, oh god.
Van Horn from outside.
So it's time to pay attention.
He is really heating up. And now he spins right by.
There's no tournament mode for the computer, so there is rubber banding.
Anything can happen.
So that will be what makes me lose these games.
And
everybody loves some rubber bands. Alright, cool, I got this
the
one.
last shot.
Great!
Good! The Toronto Raptors have won the game.
Know Your Bro says, plus the loading screens are flawless in the arcade version. What's my favorite team to play in this game? I like playing as... So D Brown, again, with 8 rebounds. Seems like a pretty consistent number. But that's out of a sampling size of 2. I like to play with teams that aren't that good. So I actually like using the Mavericks. They have Nash, which I like. The Bucks, that's false. They won a long time ago. Alright, so let's get this overlay updated with our third team defeated. Goodbye, New Jersey. I was there once. It's a pretty cool time. Stayed at a hotel right off of the New Jersey Turnpike. If you missed the exit or you missed the turn into the parking lot, you had to go around the entire turnpike again. Okay. Computer always cheats. That's very true. Pat says Castlevania good rec on brand with the Retro Sports Gaming channel. Very true. Soccer says, I like the Lakers a lot. Can't go wrong with Kobe and Shaq. I mean, they're probably the best team in this game. I would say the team that can go up against them is the Rockets. Those are definitely both tier 1 teams. Adam says it likes Sale Supersonics. Keeping on brand with Adam. Adam loves the Sonics. Make it more challenging. You made it go from full court before the time expires. Did I make it? I wasn't even paying attention. I just knew that the game was over, so I threw the ball up and then I started talking again. This is what happens when I drink coffee instead of alcohol. I get more scatterbrained. All right, let's go on to game 4. We're sitting at 45 minutes, so it's about 15 minutes a game. At that pace, it's going to be a long series, especially if the rubber band starts getting ridiculous. So I actually have done this before on my actual initials a long time ago, probably about 10 years ago at this point. And that was before people started streaming. So we're going to run one more as Toronto. And we're going to pick Oakley as the drone again. And see where he falls at. Just to change things up, I'm going to use Del Curry. Steph Curry's dad. And that might bite me in the ass, but who knows? I did. Alright, sweet. Well, full court shot. Didn't even have the mental capacity to get excited about it.
The Toronto Raptors take on the Los Angeles Clippers.
The Clippers, eh? It's a big scrub team. So D Brown is getting more rebounds than Oakley. So this is the second game that I'm running with Oakley. Oakley in his first game only got 3 rebounds versus D Brown's 8 in both games. So I mean, the trend is making sense. So if you're just tuning in, I'll explain this again why I keep using the Raptors. I'm testing the hidden rebound rating in this game. D Brown has a 18 rebound rating versus Charles Oakley's 6. So I'm trying to see what those numbers actually mean to this game. Well, I could get on fire, I guess, but not team fire. I am playing against the Clippers. Man, Del Curry has a 10 block and Vince Carter has a 4 block. I feel like a guy that has 20 dunks should be able to block a ball. I mean, it's probably based off of what he had actually done, but it's kind of sad.
Hands off to Taylor. Taylor. Nothing but the bottom of the net. He spun right by his man. Curry. Del Curry. Taylor. Play is getting very physical. I want to see the replay on that one. Hands off to Curry. Oh, with the spin. Pulls down the board. Puts it back up with the hesitation move. Time is winding down. Dishes to Taylor. Smooth move. Right through.
Yeah, Curry's a beast.
How did he get through? Again with the shot. Dishes to Taylor.
He's just letting it fly.
Curry. No
So the one thing that I found out looking through the strategy guide is a lot of players just have 10 in their clutch rating. So everybody on the Raptors looks like they have 10. Yep.
To Curry.
So the clutch rating is not as big as you would think it is. Like, I was even looking at like Scottie Pippen, who you would think would have a big clutch rating, and he's only a 10. There is a guy on the Rockets, I can't remember who it is. It's someone that you wouldn't expect has a 20. So I would be interested to see how he hits shots.
Curry. Nothing but the bottom of the net. He just flat out leveled him. The dunk contest has just been decided. He knocks the ball loose.
But, yeah.
This guy is smoking now. Curry. Again with the shot. Taylor. Launches. Newman. Toronto up by 3. Smooth move. With the finger roll.
It's just funny to think about how many times I've yelled out clutch rating whenever I've hit a shot, thinking that that was doing something, when basically all of the players are at 10s by a base.
Hands off to Taylor. Quick crossover. Puts it back up. And he puts it back in. Not today, baby. Takes off. Let's see that one again. Finds Curry. And now he spins right by him. Wide open for the 3.
I didn't look at anybody's hot spots because honestly, I don't really care about that when I'm playing against the computer. I feel like the hot spots will make way more sense to look at when you are playing against humans. The thing about hotspots is I feel like they are a good asset for players that don't have a good three-point shot, but also are easy to defend against. Yeah, no, I agree, Tom. Clutch is a good rating to make hidden. I'm kind of confused why they made weight and rebound hidden, because I didn't even know weight was a factor. I just assumed the way that weight works was how power worked. But the weight and power stat are the opposite of each other. So if you are heavier, someone with high power still won't be able to push you. So you don't put power stats up against each other, you put weight versus power. That looks like Steph Curry grew up.
Hands off to Newman. That was brutal. Seals it. That is a thing of beauty. Goes up high. Hands off to Taylor. Taylor. Way above the rim. Great shot. Toronto up by a point. Curry. Yes. Hands off to Taylor. Again with the shot. It is all tied up. Twisting and turning.
So the Clippers are putting up a fight. And
he just knocked him down.
That might be mostly because I've been losing focus during this game.
Newman. And he grabs the ball. Zoom, baby.
So might stop pretty soon.
Wide open for the 3.
Just because I haven't really been able to focus playing in these last couple games.
Lays it up. Oh, that was pure luck.
And pick it up a different time.
Finds Taylor. That was an 8.0 on the Richter scale. Oh, with the spin. Smooth move. From the arc. And he caught an elbow. There is 1 minute left. Dishes to Curry. Smooth move. Curry.
Apparently I triggered his hotspot and I didn't even realize it. I can't even hear when that happens.
Curry. The clock is ticking. Taylor. Lets it fly from downtown. And he frees himself. Curry.
Beautiful.
This guy is red hot. Hands off to Newman. Newman. No good.
All right. Tom says, Iverson isn't too good in these NBA Jam games. You need to be able to dunk and shoot threes.
Toronto up by 3.
I can't remember what Iverson's steal stat is. That might be a thing that might make him a little bit better.
Hands off to Newman. Dishes to Taylor. Oh, he is wide open.
I don't think his stats were particularly good in this game.
Curry. In his case, the playground is heaven. Toronto up by 3.
He definitely wasn't great in hang time.
He lays it up.
Yeah, hang time.
A beautiful finesse shot. Hands off to Newman. Newman. There's the shot. How did he miss that shot? Curry. He launches. Taylor. Whoop. No. Oakley. Again with the shot. Finds Newman. Oh, the dejection of the rejection. Johnny Newman. Toronto up by 3. He couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo.
Okay.
Fires. A long 2. Oakley. He'll take the 3. Taylor finds Newman. Newman.
And I'm down 1.
It's all starting to unravel
shit.
now. With the floater.
Oakley getting a board despite his
Curry.
lack of 3 ability.
He
Oh,
loses
fuck.
it. Oakley.
Up by 1.
That was
Last shot.
pure luck.
Okay,
That was
good.
a cheap shot. The
Picked it
Toronto
up.
Raptors have won the game.
All right. And it looks like Charles Oakley had 15 rebounds in that game. So what does that say? It says that we can't really test this rating because it's just going to be situational. Or maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. The way that the stat reads in the strategy guide, it says when there's opportunities where other players are going for the ball, they are more likely to get it. So it is a number roll. So maybe the guys he was facing off against weren't that good. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I think I will do one more and I'm going to call it quits on this one. Stoudemire. Okay, 4-0, 4 teams down. Apparently I'm offensive rank number 1 already. I'm so good. Don't really know what that actually means in practicality. But there's me, MJS, from 10 years ago. Defeat all 29 teams.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Wow, top 10 player. Best offense. No one knows how to handle me. Alright, since this is the last one, I am going to use a different team. Hooray! So I will use the team that I said was one of my favorites to use, the Mavericks. So I'm going to look at Dallas's credentials real quick. They all fit on one page nicely. Ooh la la. So good. So looks like Finley's got a 12 rebound. Sabellis has a 15. Bradley only has a 4, despite being a frickin' monster. Nash has 13. Yeah, so we're gonna roll with Sabelis. Maybe. Or Finley. I don't know. Probably Finley. And I'm gonna use Nash. I just like using Nash. Look at him. So young, Canadian. What a gent. Bradley 7-7 in this game is visible, and just because you asked, I will show it to you. Right next to Nash.
The Dallas Mavericks go up against the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, neat. I get to play against the team I've been using constantly. That's cool. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Or if it's just completely the luck of the draw. Coincidence? I think not. Midway's on to something. This will enlighten how tall Bradley is. If that answers your question. I mean, of course it does.
Here's the tip. And it is showtime here. Wide
Nash, only a 13-3, but...
McGrady. And he pump fakes. Christie. Finds Christie. Dallas by
So the thing that I should be paying attention when I am playing against the computer is what the other... Like, with Nash, I have 15 steals. So I should be paying attention to... what the dribble ratings are for both of them, because that is the stat that goes against the stealing stat. So if you have high dribbles, it cancels out a high steal. So that would be crucial when choosing matchups, is knowing what the dribble stat is. So you could surprise people thinking, oh, I have powerhouses. Of course I'm going to win. And then you just take the ball from them and you say, fuck you. I'm the best.
Hands off to Christie. Christie. Zoom, baby. That was Dunkadelic. The Mavs lead is 2. Nash. A beautiful shot. Hands off to McGrady with a fancy crossover. Again with the shot. Nash. Quick crossover. Shoots. Rolls out. McGrady. Dishes to Christie. Nash. Dishes to Bradley. And he took the ball strong.
All right. Stripped, but not picked up by Bradley.
McGrady. I don't think it's the shoes. Nash. He'll take the 3.
Oh yeah, another thing that I read in the strategy guide. So, shooting the ball at the top of your arc does not increase its chances of going into the basket. What it does is it gives you a better opportunity of it not getting blocked. So, it doesn't really matter at what point you release the ball.
Dallas is up by 3.
It will have the same shot percentage regardless.
Down the board. Fire! Nash. What a steal! This guy is really heating up. With the crossover, he'll take the 3. He lost the ball.
Which was something that I had already thought.
Dishes to Christie.
But it was nice to get it confirmed. Because that was the big complaint for me about the NBA Jam remakes, is that it does weigh on when you actually release the ball in it going in. So you could have a really high three-point shooter, but that doesn't mean that the ball is going to go in because he's good at threes.
Hands off to McGrady. Oh, he is wide open.
Pat says, that's surprising. I always assume closest to the top equals better chance to make it in these games.
4-2.
Not this one.
The Mavs lead is 2. Smooth move.
Yeah, I mean, But yeah, that was the thing that was frustrating about NBA Jam Remake, and that is the downfall of what is wrong with NBA Playgrounds, because that is a thing that affects every single shot you take in that game, including dunks. So unless you like having to time every single shot every single time,
Nash.
oh look, it's my hot spot. And I got fucking stuffed because I'm just not paying attention to what I'm actually doing and going to the same spot and shooting every time.
To Christie. Dishes to Christie.
Ugh.
The finger roll.
And that's that weak ass block stat right there.
This guy's red hot. To McGrady.
But anyway, the formulas that go into this game that make up the stats are not as crazy as you would think they would be. Like, it's just one stat versus the other stat, and then the other thing is just coverage, where how close your guy is to the other guy will reduce the shot percentage. All right. We're gonna keep it rolling with Nash. Can't go wrong with him. Just love him. So fast.
Up by a point.
So furious.
Way up in the air. Let's see that one again. Nash.
If I lose this game, I'm blaming
He'll try it again.
using the Mavericks
He tries it
though.
with a three. Christie. He gave him a push. He
Maybe I
pokes it
should have
away.
put Finley in. I don't know.
He is in a zone. Finds McGrady. Dishes to Christie. Dishes to McGrady.
Oh, big stuff.
Finds Nash. Quick as lightning. Finds Nash. Again, the shot won't go. Houston, we
Oh,
have
no
rhythm.
block there.
Dallas by a point. With the finger roll.
Yeah, baby.
McGrady, way above the rim. McGrady, get that shot out of here. Dallas by a point. Nash, from the arc. McGrady. McGrady. No! Nice steal. He is really heating up. Oh, with the spin. With the powerful dunk. Oh, my. Dishes to McGrady. McGrady. And throws it home with the exclamation. Crosses over. Nash. He is
Ballin'.
in a zone. Christie. Dishes to Christie. Oh, he dunked it. Nash. Smooth move. With
Oh,
30
come on,
seconds to
hotspot.
go,
Don't shit on me right now.
This guy is really heating up. Nash. Smooth move. Again, the shot won't go. It
Bradley's
takes two to
20
tango.
blocks was no match.
Nash. He lays it up. Good.
Big roll.
And now he spins right by him. Nash. This guy's red hot.
The one thing that I never really understand is they have these tips in the menus.
Launches his body.
I feel like they should have
Hands off to Nash.
also put
With a
those
fancy
tips
crossover.
on a separate menu.
What a time
So
to get
like
hot.
you could go to where
What? Puts it back up.
the options were, and you could also read the tips. Some games do that. This is not one of them. So you gotta wait for those tips to just pop by when they're relevant to you. You also have to
He
read
is
them.
in a zone. To McGrady.
So that was what was nice about having the strategy guide and being able to just read through what each stat does.
Boom, baby. Hands off to McGrady. Christie. Oh, that was a big time.
Nash coming up in the clutch with a huge block, but that
Mavs lead is
so
2.
Raptors pick up the ball and capitalize on it.
And nails the short jumper. Hands off to McGrady. He just knocked him down. Launches his body. The Mavs lead is 2. Nash.
Oh, yeah.
He is absolutely unconscious. Christie. Quick fake. Oh, with the spin. He shoots. Dallas is up by 3. Nash lays it up and in. And he gets hit hard. Nash. They are taking no prisoners in this one. They need to get something going here.
Oh, shit.
And they are over the limit.
Luckily, they're down by 8, so they can't do a 6-point
From
play.
the free throw line. Again, the shot won't go. Finds
Buck.
McGrady. And we got to see that one again. Awesome defense.
All right, we're just
This
going to
guy
chuck.
is really heating up. Nash bombs away.
It's definitely a good way to waste 10 seconds
The
in this
Dallas
game is to
Mavericks
just
have
take a full
defeated
court shot.
The Toronto Raptors.
All right. We did it to him. We did it, boys. We got through 5 teams. It's incredible. We're the greatest. Well, anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this stream. Been kind of distracted in these last couple games, so I don't want to keep playing. So yeah, I will answer this trivia question. Rice or Hardaway? Let's go with Rice. And let's get this bad boy saved. And we're gonna call this one a night. Thank you, some of you, for watching, and I will be back at some point in the future. Ta-ta for now.